Hey guys, today I'm going to be telling you about how we fixed Turbo and Bunmi's broken bond. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that you will not be seeing a perfect bonding journey. We did make mistakes and there was biting, there was chasing, but I think it's important to share our true experience so that you guys can learn from our mistakes and do better for your own bunnies. So if you're wondering how their bond broke, they were going back and forth to multiple vet appointments and we decided to leave Bunmi at home for one of them to spare her from the stress of the car ride. We figured it would be okay because we'd never seen any aggression from Bunmi towards Turbo, but as it turns out, it was not okay and their bond did break. And because Turbo was already in gut stasis, we had to keep them completely separate so that he could have space and time to heal. Once Turbo was starting to feel better, we kicked off the bonding process by setting up side-by-side pens so that the bunnies could get used to being around each other again. Did you go straight into hiding?
No, let's explore a bit.
As you can see, Bunmi was being really aggressive towards Turbo, so we knew that this was going to be pretty tricky. Yeah, she's really aggressive.
Turbo's just watching.
The next day we started the table bonding sessions and these did not get off to a good start. Oh, jeez. Bunmi. The obvious mistakes we made here were not reacting fast enough. So as soon as Bunmi started to turn her head, we should have separated the rabbits. And we also let the sessions go on a bit longer than we should have. So I think we were doing 10 or 15-minute sessions, but we should have just started with 5. The next few days we continued with the table bonding, but we're being a lot more careful to make sure that we weren't allowing any aggression to happen. By day 6, I was really sick of the pens being in the living area. This was the only space we had, but it was also really inconvenient because it was blocking the main flow of our apartment, of how we get between like the kitchen and the study area and the balcony. So I rearranged the furniture so that I could put the pens in a different spot so they weren't in the way as much, and the bunnies would take turns free roaming outside of the pens. I wasn't seeing as much progress as I wanted to, so I decided to try out some different methods. We tried basket bonding, but that didn't work. As soon as they were in the basket together, Bunmi would start trying to attack or Turbo would jump out onto me. I tried floor bonding in the shower, which was okay, but again, it wasn't really great. So I went back to doing research on bunny bonding, and there were 2 articles that really stood out to me that helped a lot with our bonding journey. So the first one was this article by Oxbow, which explains how it's not a good idea to let your rabbits exercise within view of each other. And that made sense because anytime Turbo was out free roaming, Bunmi was just chewing at the bars, pushing at the pen, just trying to get out, or lunging at him if he came near her. And whenever she was out exercising, she would just be at Turbo's pen trying to lunge at him. So anytime they needed exercise, I just picked them up and either took them to the bedroom or the balcony where they could exercise without being in view of the other rabbit. The second one is this article by the Bunny Lady. So if you've seen any of my previous bunny bonding content, you'll know that I've always been quite against stress bonding, but this post helped me to realize that when done correctly, stress bonding can be an effective technique to help aggressive pairs get over that hump so that they can start moving forward. So I came up with a new plan, which was to take the bunnies to a brand new environment that neither bunny had ever been before, so that it would be completely neutral, and that was going to be my parents' backyard. And to get them there, they were going to need to go in the car anyway, so that was going to be how I did the stress bonding. This session was a real turning point for us. It was the first time we could have the bunnies together without them showing any aggression towards each other. Granted, they were very nervous. It took a long time for Bunmi to come out of the carrier. She was so scared. But the bunnies were able to be together. They found comfort in each other. We had bananas, they had some fun, and it was a really productive session. Over the next couple of days, we were going to continue the table bonding sessions, but before starting those, we wanted to use a little bit of that stress bonding again. So we would put the bunnies into their carrier and then just walk up and down the hallway a little bit, just like 30 seconds to a minute, before putting them onto the table. On the table, they were doing great. They would be grooming each other. They were able to relax around each other. So we were starting to see some really good progress, and we were able to move on to floor bonding sessions. These sessions were a little bit tricky because on the floor, the bunnies naturally want to start getting territorial again. Bunmi was being very assertive about her dominance. This time we allowed a little bit of nipping and a little bit of humping so that they could establish their hierarchy. Bunmi clearly wanted to be the dominant one this time, but we had to be very careful to make sure that it didn't get out of hand. At the end of every floor session, we would put them back onto the table to let them end on a good note, because on the table they would always be snuggling and grooming and relaxed around each other. So we would do the floor bonding, then a little table session, and then we would put them back in their pens. Day 14, we started doing playpen dates. Sometimes we would bring Bunmi into Turbo's side, and sometimes we would just open up the middle and allow the bunnies to roam between both pens. But whenever Turbo went to Bunmi's side, she was pretty territorial and would always chase him back to his side of the pen.
Mix the chocolate.
Where's Turbo gone? Oh, Bunmi! She stepped into the water bowl. Bunmi's a silly girl, huh? But in a couple of days, they were able to share that pen together. I don't think I left the house for the next few days because I wanted to always be around while they were sharing their space. We were able to open up the pen and let them start free roaming the apartment together. And by day 17, we were able to take the pens down and the bunnies were bonded again. So that was our bonding journey. It took a total of 17 days, and as you saw, it was not perfect. We definitely made some mistakes, but I hope that this video is helpful to anyone who is having to rebond their rabbits. I wish you good luck, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye.